Good evening. Yes, it's evening. It's 8 o'clock Celtic part time, so it is evening time. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans Views. Celtic have made an announcement that all the fans, well, lots of people have been waiting for, and it's a change in direction for Celtic. It's a massive change in direction. The way that Celtic are going to run their media. And gone are the days of the old DVDs. Yes, gone are those days. I'm just going to jump into the comment section first of all, see who is all on, and say good evening to everyone. There are viewers sitting waiting, and just there we go, just double checking that. So first in was Tam Mack. He said, "Hail, hail." David Lamont was in second. Hank came in. All the best, Baz, and fellow Tims. Hank said, "I hope you're having a good day." Stephen, all the best. Joseph says, "Hail, hail to all." Joseph then said, "Hail, hail to Stephen." John Quinn says, "Hail, hail, boys and girls." Stephen Johnson, give lots of thumbs up to everyone. And next in was Ado, and then Liz Donnelly says, "Hi, Baz and Stephen." Kieran's in the house, and John O'Neill is in the house. Michael Ross in the house. Hey, well, Stephen, isn't it great to be a Celt? Wilson's in the house. Liam Miles in the house. Scott's in the house, and Paul McGeegan and Ian is in the house as I speak. Right, let's just get on with it, Baz. Celtic made an announcement tonight. You probably all would have saw it, and it's a big change for Celtic. Celtic are embracing the digital age and a digital transformation, moving away from the DVDs. Now, I went onto the land of Twitter because it's always good to see what people are saying about the announcement. Celtic made the announcement on Twitter and said, "Our 2023-24 season was one for the history books. And now supporters can get a look behind the scenes at our double winning season. The film will be available." I wonder if it's going to show the aftermath of the Kilmarnock game at the beginning of the season in the League Cup. I wonder if they'll show any of that, because that was a big disappointment at the start of the season. It's all good looking back and saying, "Yeah, it was we done well, we won the double," and but I wonder if it will show you that. I'll be interested to find out. I might have to buy it myself just to see if they do talk about the Kilmarnock game at the start of last season in the Cup. Anyway, they went on to say supporters can get out behind the look scenes at our double winning season. The film will be exclusively available on the new at Celtic TV platform. Now, I did put a link to the new platform. It'll be available tomorrow, September 13th, and is free for all subscribers. And they want you to pay for it. Now, when you click on what Celtic said, it marks the first of a new content on a brand new Celtic TV platform, which now holds everything from live football to on-demand streaming to pay-per-view events and extensive archives. Instead of the traditional DVD, Celtic TV is the new home for our all-feature-length content, including exclusive behind-the-scenes documentaries and special features. Now, we've been speaking about this for a long time because Celtic a year ago, brought in a guy from Apple in London. He brought in one of the directors from Apple in London. And he had been at Apple for many a year, and he'd also been in the music industry also. But he specialised in doing pay-per-view things on telly for Apple. He was right into that. So that's why he was brought in. And he's obviously earning his crust now. Now, when you click onto it, I did put the link up on... I'll put it up again towards the end of the video. Celtic TV, Celtic.tv has Matchday Live available to rent. Coming soon. Original produced from inside Celtic Park, available from just $4.99. It'll be interesting to see how long you get to rent it for $4.99. Is that for a month? Is it a week? Are they going to give you a week to watch something and then they'll take it down? It's going to be interesting. They're trying to get everybody onto a monthly subscription of $4.99. Now, I'm all for that, as you know, as a digital creator. And I think that Celtic are well within their right, but people on the land of Twitter didn't think as much. Tell me your thoughts in the comments whilst I'm reading out this. Hugh Lynch says, "What a joke to not have a choice of DVD also." Get with the times, mate. When's the last time that you bought a DVD? He said choice. I'm sure there'll be plenty who want a DVD. Some collect old VHS and DVDs. It's never going to happen. And Celtic as a club decided to make more DVDs going forward. No, they won't. It's mad. It's a sign of the times. So get with it. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm not going to deny it. I earn a living online, so for me to say anything bad about it would be a bit of slap in the face and the double standards. As a season ticket holder, says T67, he says, as a season ticket holder, spending thousands every year, yeah, you can't even offer us the chance to watch it for free. No surprise, though, after taking our free pre-season game away. Hashtag Tory C word. And then he went, PS, I'll probably still buy it. Oh, Jesus, man. What an idiot. Get it on YouTube, FFS, says Paul Connors. Neil says, Skydiver for non-subscribers. You're all right. I'll watch it when it's free after an hour being released. If it's going to be free, people will get done for copyright. Now, Celtic are clamping down on any type of copyright online. If you use any of their content, and especially on YouTube, you get a community strike for it. So if anyone is caught selling or passing on copies of this, expect Celtic to come after you. And if Celtic find out that this is in the public domain, I'm sure they'll try and make sure that they get it shut down. It's just the way that I know that Celtic are working behind the scenes just now, and I know that they are working and actively taking down any content that has came from Celtic TV. Just a nod to all those accounts out there that are repurposing videos from certain platforms and putting them up as Celtic content and having faceless Celtic channels with, yeah, just watch yourself, lads. I'll be getting it when it comes out on Fire Stick. It won't be on Fire Stick. You have to log on through the website to get this. Is a game on Celtic to watch. How about Free for All, says Stephen Farrell. £4.99 is a bargain. I look forward to seeing it, says Colours of Day. And then a couple of nonsense comments, to be fair. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Let's jump into the comment section. Jesus, rest in peace. You're a 4.99 a month badge. Yeah, I know. Exactly. And you get special things for that. Listen, I can't say anything about Celtic. Let's jump into the comments. I make my living online, mate. So it is what it is, if you ask me. Evening Troop says the donkey bus. Sean says evening bars and all. Good evening all. Mon the Pope's 11 says James the Little. Tony says good evening to all. Hey ho Baz, just back from Santa Ponza, says Peter Larkin. I bet you had a fantastic time there. I've still not been over. I can get a flight for about about €30 return, but it's the cost of the hotels over there are just shocking. But anyway, Liam Miles says, where's the poll tonight, pal? Give me a couple of minutes, Liam. We'll decide. I'm 7 minutes in and we should have had a poll already. What can we have the poll about tonight? Give me 2 seconds. I don't know what to do with the poll about. Give me 5 minutes. Close that. Hail Troop says Michael. Donkey Bus says Stephen. Lots of love hearts. Liam Miles says hi to Stephen. Even Baz from Philip at Barhead. Even all says Hazel. Nay Paul. Give me a minute. The poll tonight, Baz, should be Baz ditched the hat. No, I'm not doing a poll about that. Tell me everything, Baz. Just did Carly. Let me just jump through. Boys and girls. Sorry if I'm missing it. Tony, Stephen Johnson, Michael Short, even Basil Timms, Zombie Apocalypse, Miguel thinks we don't know he's a baldy. Don't care. I've always wore a hat on this channel. I don't wear it on other channels. But it's a thing on this channel, and you stick with things. I'm a bit of a thing that way. Anyway, I've still got my DVD plus Frank Kennedy. I've still got my Betamax. Carly's just scoffed a big cream cake at Costco. Surprised you've got any money left at Costco. Anyway, will Barbaron be the next £20 million player? There we go. There's the poll. I think it will be, but yes. The best players. I think that's a hard one to That's a hard one because there's too many talking about resting players. There's games where you need to rest players and players that you don't. Well, there we go. There's the poll for this evening. Well, but Paulo Bernardo, there's been a lot of talk after John Hartson. John Hartson saying that Paulo Bernardo will be Celtic's next £20 million player. He's going to have to be our next £20 million player because the money that they paid for him and the 20% sell-on clause, Celtic will want to make sure. And he's the under-21 captain of Portugal. It's hard to see how he's not going to be the next £20 million player. And if he's not the next £20 million player for the no voters, tell me in the comment section who you think will be the next £20 million player. Hatate. I think you'll get 15 for Hatate. I've just got a funny feeling we'll get. I'm not too sure. Easy 20 million. David says Hatate. Alistair Johnson could go for big money, says Michael Ross. That's why Celtic are trying to get him tied up on a longer contract. He does have 3 years remaining on his contract, but Celtic want to get him tied up on a longer contract because they see him as probably one of the next ones that will go for big money. I think Celtic will sell Hatate before Bernardo. Yes, definitely. That's a no-brainer. Hatate will be away next summer. Engels worth 20 million plus as player. Yeah, that's a few years away. I'll give him 2 years to get to that. We have a poll. We have a big pool with the new quality players. Can be rested. Yes, Bernardo will be at least 30 million minimum. That's interesting. It depends where he goes. If he goes down south, or if he goes back to Portugal, I don't think he'll going to get that going back to Portugal. But definitely, if you head to Spain, there's a chance that people in Spain might buy him for that kind of money. AJ, my favourite man. Alistair Johnson's going to be here for another 4 years anyway. I think he'll be here for 4 years. Celtic are trying to build the core of a team that are all on 4 or 5 year contracts. And the fact that, well, we spoke about it this morning, why on earth is the one and only Greg Taylor not getting a new contract? Anyway, inflation 30 million. Rangers have coffee machine that's worth more than some of their players. Yes, they do that. Sevco Betamax release is simply depressed. Even Baston Jim says everyone. And Portugal, methinks. But then Jota went. Let's put this into reality. We got 25 million for Jota. They sold him for 6.75 million. So it puts it to reality. I mean, what was the real value of Jota? It has to be somewhere in between the 25 million and the 6 million, surely. I mean, surely Rennes got an absolute bargain getting him for 6.75 million. Anyway, we'll spoke about the fact that Celtic are doing a digital upgrade on everything, and they're. I think it's a good thing. No matter what anybody says, I think it's a cracking thing that Celtic are doing that. It gets more money going directly to the. I'm going to tell you why I think it's a good thing, right? I mean, people going about the money that the club has made. Welcome to the One Celtic Fans View Club, Robert. Everyone goes on about the money that the club has made from merchandise. You don't bring in a non-executive director into a position with the experience that he's got if you're not thinking outside the box. Now, I know that Celtic TV have went through a change in guys that do the editing. They've finally got in a team that seems to be capable of giving us a real first-class editing suite. All that was missing was the content that they need for a pay-per-view system. Now, the guy that came in is pay-per-view mad. And it's the next step. Celtic will want to be leaders in this front. Celtic were leaders when it came to standing sections in the UK. First ground in the UK have a standing section. There's other clubs done it down south now. Clubs trying to do it up here. Celtic want to be at the forefront, and that's one of the things. Although I don't think he's probably the best person to still be at the club, but Peter Lawwell has been at the forefront of that. Peter Lawwell has been at the forefront of helping push Celtic to be at the forefront of things. So we'll wait and see next year when it comes to the accounts to see how much money they will have made off the pay-per-view service. That'll be interesting to find out. And got to give the Bricky a bit of respect. He can get game time elsewhere, but he decided to sit on our bench for backup. We all played Tony Ralston. Zombie, I think that you're always going to have a core. You have to have a core. Any successful club, if you look at Manchester United back in the 1990s under Sir Alex Ferguson, right? He had the core of a club, a core of the players that came through the system. Now, any successful club, you want to have that core of players that it's their club. It's their club, and they'll do anything for the club. They'll sit on the bench for 3 years to know that they'll maybe get brought on for 10 games a season. Um, but they'll still pick up their wages and they'll still do their damnedest and they'll still fight every single tooth and nail during training for the club because it's the club that they wanted to be at since they were a kid, and you need that at a successful football club, and that's why Celtic, and that's why I think a lot of us have felt a bit let down by younger players leaving Celtic just now, younger players leaving to go on for riches of other clubs. To hell with their career. It's all about just going for the cash. Now you've got guys like Tony Ralston. You've got guys. You've got the one and only James Forrest, who's had 500 games for Celtic. And look at James over his career. He's seen all sorts of wingers coming in at the club. He's seen all sorts of players come in that were going to take his position, and he's just got his head down and stuck to the game. So is Callum McGregor. And I think that if there's one bit of advice, and I've said this before, you talk to Callum McGregor and James Forrest, and if they say, what's the one bit of advice that you would give to a player, a younger player in this day and age, at say 17, 18-year-old, and they would probably say, ditch the social media. I bet you they would turn around and say, ditch social media, don't listen to outside nonsense, don't watch the football highlights, don't go online and see what all the mad folk are saying online. Cheers for that, Paul. I'll hold you to that one day because I'll come over and I'll see big Mr. Dara and we'll get a drink in Simi's bar. Yeah. So I'll hold you to that. But yeah, I think that you have to have that core element within your club that's came through the system. And Tony Ralston's one of them. Tony Ralston will never want to leave Celtic. Why would he? Let's be honest. I mean, he could. Fair enough. You could say that Tony Ralston could walk out of Celtic and walk down south and maybe go into 30, 40 grand a week. And you wouldn't begrudge him that. Would you begrudge Tony Ralston that? I don't think that you would. But players like Tony Ralston are Celtic. They know the history of Celtic. They were brought up with it. They know everything about the Lisbon Lions. They know everything about Davy Hay. They never know everything about Billy McNeil. They know everything about Roy Aitken. They know everything about Paddy Bonner, and it's like they know everything about the club. So that's why you've got to have a core of these players in the club. And I've got to say it, whether you like it or not, and his dad might be a Hun, but Greg Taylor's now one of us. Greg Taylor's one of those players that absolutely love the club. Now, will Celtic do the right thing and give him an extension to his contract? Well, we need to wait and see on that. Anyway, let me just send a message to Mrs. I think we're going out. Are we going out? She's sitting through there. I can hear her spraying stuff. Anyway, Jota couldn't sign for a UK club unless he was prepared to lose millions in HMSC. Well, there you go. Someone needs to ask what the problem is with Greg Taylor's contract. I think that comes down to the guys that do all the Celtic media stuff. They're the ones that can get close enough to ask Brendan Rodgers that kind of question. For me, I think you should give Greg Taylor a new contract. For me, it's a no-brainer. Anyway, we've asked the question at this. Will Bernardo be our next £20 million player? 77% say yes and 23% no. There's only 109 votes. And Robert Christie is our newest member of the One Celtic Fans View. I'll do a little update on that the weekend or something. But there are 204 people currently on the live get voting. There's 111 votes, and 77 say yes, Bernardo will be the next £1 million player. Some say it won't. Anyway, there has been a change to a TV schedule for our trip to Fir Park in October. It's now on a Sunday. A Sunday at a 3 p.m. kickoff. Now, I was having a look at the times, some of the away games, and the Ross County one's always a pain in the tits. But uh, Celtic need to address this to expect fans to get up to Dingwall for 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. It's just nobody thinks about the fans anymore. You're not a fan, and especially when you've seen the nonsense that goes on. Anyway, we don't want to talk about that. What I did want to talk about in this video is referees. In the referee video, the monthly video that came out, Willie Collum says, first of all, referees need to declare their interest. Oh, Jesus. And it got me thinking. And it's like, declare an interest for what? And it's like, well, a couple of years ago, he said his son was playing for a senior club. And even though he was playing for under 19s, he had to declare an interest. He said, I can't referee this match because my son plays for the under 19s. If somebody was working for a company or that sponsors a particular club, so if we've got lots of accountants and everything that are referees, if they're working for the company that sponsors that club, they have to put it in and say that it's an interest. It's an interest. They expect a referee to declare it in their interests. In terms of a team that somebody might support or a connection with a family member, where do you draw the lines? Says the head man of the referees. We want to encourage people into refereeing. Well, if you want to encourage them into refereeing, you need to stop the Lanarkshire Referee Association being in existence, and you need to make a place that's open to all, and that isn't a little sectarian bigot fest. And we can talk about this all day long. And he also went on to say, we're trying to encourage people into refereeing. You can say that you can referee top games or you can referee lower league games, but what would you put a block on? Where do we draw the line? You draw the line on the referee, the two linesmen, and the two guys in VAR all supporting Rangers and all being members of the Masonic Lodge. That's 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 where you draw the line. Oh Jesus, Jesus. You can't make it up, can you? You can't really make it up. Anyway, that's enough about them. Let's get on to the game this weekend. Let's get on to the game this weekend. I'm going on it. Did you get my message? Hand of God. No, she's not talking to me. We're either going out or we're going out. We're not going out at all. Anyway, Celtic are still sitting at the top of the league on 12 points that we play this weekend. Playing Saturday. Motherwell versus Aberdeen is this weekend also. That'll be an interesting game, especially since Motherwell are sitting in fifth positions and Aberdeen want to make sure of a win to make sure that they keep the distance between themselves and Dundee United, who sit in third position. Dundee United going to this weekend. Who cares? It's all about Celtic Hearts, isn't it? And we want to make sure that Hearts get beat and stay at least bottom or second bottom of the league going into the weekend. So with that being said, what do you think the score will be? Wait a minute, where is it? Oh, that was it. I was going to show you that earlier. No, anyway, it doesn't matter. We've done that. We've done that. We missed it. Anyway, we are sitting on 18,837 subscribers. Let's hit the 1888 for Sunday. Right, back onto that other screen. So, what do you think the score will be this weekend? We'll keep the poll running. I wrote down earlier. I think it's going to be Celtic 4, Hearts 0. Because let's face it, Hearts have been whipping boys away from home. They don't like an away game, but then again, they lost 1-0 to Dundee United at home in their last game. Yeah, that's right. They did, didn't they? Yeah, they lost 1-0 at home to Dundee United. Will they lose 2 on the trot? Well, they always kind of lose when they come to Celtic Park. They try to put up a fight, but I think that Celtic will come out 4-0 victors, and I have written that down on a piece of paper. Tell me what you think the score will be. The score's on the doors. Taylor won't leave. I think there's a wee bit of a standoff with what the player thinks he's worth and what the board rates on market value. Hope he gets offered it, says Gareth. Gareth, the club rate him according to, I think it's SofaScore or Transfer Market or whatever, around about 7 million. If they rate him as a £7 million player, pay him the wages of a £7 million player. That's what I say. Frank, I'd love to know what Celtic are offering Greg Taylor. Yes, since he's one of our senior players, he should be paid like one. Yep, he should. He should that, Chilpel. Scott's first up, and he says 4-0 to the Hoops this weekend. Refereeing has to admit what teams they have allegiance with. No, they don't. They might do, but they'll lie. You can't tell me that all these come on, Dallas. Andrew Dallas. There's absolutely no chance. I support Partick Thistle, man. That Wayne Flag. Not a chance. Referees have to admit what teams they have allegiance to. They might have to, but it then gets swept under the carpet. A zombie apocalypse says. No idea. Kieran is saying 3-1 to Celtic. Keg is saying 3-1. Visim is saying 3-0. AR is saying 4-0. I've missed a load of scores. Somebody said, Joseph says 6-1. Stephen Johnson says 3-1. Jim says 5-0. Dov France says 3-0. I think at least 4 or 5, says Carly. First Saturday game of the season, 3-0. It is, isn't it? It's the first Celtic Saturday. And we're fucking four odd games into the season. It's terrible. And there's not going to be a lot of Saturday games going forward, which is this that does my head in. Especially when I know how many buses come from all over the country. And I know how hard it is, especially for the guys coming over from Ireland that put the buses on. Do you know, I know how hard it is for them to get everyone over. And when the games all change, it's just a muck up. And they spend good money. They spend some amount of money. I mean, people that stay in and around Glasgow might bemoan the fact that their season ticket costs £650 or whatever. But they're paying the price of their season ticket. They're paying the price of the bus, the ferry. Sometimes they're doing stayovers. They're booking hotels. Do you know, it goes into a cracking amount of money that they're spending coming to watch Celtic. And then you've got the buses that come from down south, from Liverpool, Coventry and such. I don't think the 313 bus is still on the go, is it? But yeah, there's a lot of people do a lot of travelling just to get up and see Celtic for the home games. Anyway, Liam Mills is going for 3-1. Ewan Boy Martin is saying 7-0. There's always a big scoring game around about December. So I would hang off Ewan Boy Martin. I would hang off with your big scoreline and wait for that to come in December. There's always, historically, we always get, if you look back history books, we always get like a 6-7. And there was a 9 against Aberdeen once, wasn't there? Anyway, at least 4, says John. Robert Christie says 2-0. Green Machine says he'll go for 4-0. Also 4-0, another clean sheet. That's one of the most important things, because the last time that Celtic went on a run of clean sheets like this, I'm sure I read, was about 120 years ago. No, about 118 years ago. 118 years since Celtic last had as many clean sheets at the beginning of a season. Now, that is a record that Kasper Schmeichel will want to keep for himself. And they'll all have, each player has little targets they want to keep. And if Kasper Schmeichel can come into Celtic and break all sorts of records with Celtic, and even if he is only here for the one season, but if he comes in and breaks all kinds of records with Celtic, it will make sure for certain that he leaves as a complete and utter legend of Celtic. And maybe it'll make him think, maybe just twice, or for a little bit longer, about leaving Celtic after this summer. He does have that option of another year, remember. So if he goes and breaks all sorts of records this season, I think that might entice him just to get that next season and hopefully hit the Champions League running. Anyway, Kieran says 3-1. Ooh. Robert says 5-0. Desmond Donnelly says, I think we'll see a change in goalkeeper. And I don't think that we'll see a change in goalkeeper for this one. I don't think that we'll see the goalkeeper until a cup game. Now, we said at the beginning of the season, would he change the keeper then? He didn't. He didn't for Sinisalo. Um, it'll be interesting to see when he does bring the young keeper into the frame. Obviously, thinking going forward, you're wanting this guy to start getting some game time this season, so that if it is Schmeichel's last season, he's basically stepping right in, and he's not phased by anything. I don't think as a keeper he would be phased by anything. But anyway, if you go 8 points clear, that's more pressure on the Huns. Lovely jubbly, says Carly. And let's just jump forward. Keep the clean sheet for sure. Mr. Leo. Thank you, see big either score says Liam. Anton says 2-1. Ian says 2-0. Tin of Tartan Paint says 5-0. Kaiser 7-0 for the hoops. Diet on. I've not said that because I got flagged for swearing last night, and I had to go to YouTube and say, go and look at it again. And then they said, yeah, everyone's all right. Amazing that, isn't it? But anyway, 7-0 Ibrox in January. That could be a cracking score. Desmond Donner says he's thinking 5-0 the hoops. Liam, as long as we don't stick Yang or Palma in goal. Yes, did you watch that? Keeping a clean sheet is for sure, says Carly. Neil Kelly says, we travel through the wee remote village in Loch in Niver, north of Alpool, to the game. As a road trip, especially going home. Oh, there she is. Yeah, there we go. We're going out then. I text you. Yeah, I sent you a message. Jesus. We're going out. Not just out, we're going out. Anyway, let's wrap up the poll because the poll said, will Bernardo be our next £20 million player? We've had 170 votes this evening, and it is a bit quiet. I'm not. All the Chelsea channels are quiet this week. It's a bit strange. I think people are overdone with YouTube after the epic month of August, and maybe because it's kids are back at school and stuff, and folk are like, "Oh, I just need to sleep at night." Listen to that fucking Rajman. Anyway, let's end the poll right now, and the poll finished says, "Will Bernardo be our next £20 million player?" Yes, says 78%. 21% said no, with 170 votes. Kaiser 12-0 to the G. 12-0 to the G. The only thing to worry about is the officials. The orange. Jeez. Must be the last comment didn't show. Bob. Bob's here. I'm going to scroll back and see if I can find it. If I can't. No. Comments are coming that fast. Kaiser says, we'll do have a shot every goal. And Who Really Cares says, I take it you're going out now, boys. Enjoy yourself. Yes, the hand of God is coming. It is a Thursday night, and she doesn't work a Friday. Hope isn't VR isn't busy. Kaiser, I'm on holiday. I'll do the shots. Lol. And yes, how is Salou, Kaiser? Anyway, just a recap of the Celtic news this evening. Celtic are due, well, they are tomorrow coming out with a new digital upgrade. For more details, see Celtic TV. I'm going to put the link up for that actually. Celtic TV. So if you click on this link after the video, you'll see what the new section of Celtic TV will look like. They are going completely pay-per-view for all content, and they're coming out with a behind-the-scenes film documentary. Behind-the-scenes documentary tomorrow, and you can buy that and you can rent it, which I think is absolutely fantastic, and it is the way forward for online stuff. Celtic going to the game this weekend. A lot of people are taking us as favourites. I think it's going to be an interesting one. I was going to see how many we can score. There will be video tomorrow morning. We'll do a video at 5 o'clock tomorrow night, and then we'll do a live Saturday morning, and we'll do a live an hour and 15 minutes before the game, and that might come from a pub, Paddy's Point in Lasagna. I'll comment down there. I don't know how I'm going to do the live after it. Kaiser, sorry, but as the Spanish Charlie is me throwing digs. Salou is amazing, bro. I own it. Oh, jeez. I thought you were there with the missus and kids, Kaiser. I thought you were there with the missus and kids. Oh, there's you sending me a message back. Jeez. Has anyone seen the new Sevco YouTuber? Looks like a bear bro selector. No, I haven't, but I'll be make sure to check it out. Anyway, there's been 837 views on the video so far this evening. 227 people are currently online. 94 thumbs up. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up, make sure you do. Paddy's Point for his favourite Irish pub, Vaz. Paddy's Point is a fantastic pub. Stuart. And I'll be heading there on Saturday to watch the game with the missus. And on that note, we are sitting on 18,838 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please do, as we're trying to hit to 20,000 subscribers and more and beyond. And on that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans all around the world, because I'm